Blackpink has the largest number of solo stans out of any K-pop group. Obviously, there aren't many groups that have a fandom as large as Blackpink, but I mean proportion-wise. Even some of the larger groups like BTS, Twice, EXO, Stray Kids, ITZY, and many more don't have as many solo stans as Blackpink does. Well, if the story stopped here, it would have been one thing. But Blackpink solo stans are known to be the most toxic and delusional fans in all of K-pop. They are these cult-like communities that blindly support their biases and criticize and hate every other member. They have built a community of solo stans whose sole passion and purpose is to stream their music, obsess over their social media, and literally follow their every move. It's not rocket science to figure out that these fans are either very young or misfits who have found a community of like-minded people to bond over. What is alarming, however, is that their obsession is creepy and unhealthy. While being in love with K-pop and music in general can be cathartic and helpful, spending all of your energy on hating on idols, fandoms, and literally everyone is not healthy at all. But let's not go on a tangent here and talk about the issue at hand, that is solo stans destroying Blackpink. Let's dive into this. Let's start with the least toxic fandom in my opinion, which is Rose's solo stans, called the Fans. The Fans are quite a laid-back fandom, thankfully. The major issue they have is with Rose being ignored by YG. She is a strong vocalist and is actually interested in singing and making music. Hence, it was very sad for her fanbase when she was being overlooked for her solo debut, and it was given to Jennie. Jennie was the first one to have a solo debut, which raised eyebrows from all other fanbases. Fans were upset because Rose had been writing songs and preparing for her solo, whereas Jennie had not shown much interest in music, but more on that later. Rose's fanbase is quite laid back. In fact, I have only seen them appreciate her and not necessarily put down other members. Next up, let's talk about Jisoo's fanbase, Suya. Jisoo was initially seen as a misfit in Blackpink. Her mellow and elegant persona didn't go well with the badass vibe of Blackpink. She was also the only member not fluent in English, and as Blackpink has a large international fanbase, she was generally overlooked in the initial days. She didn't stand out as a rapper or dancer and had decent stage presence, so her only saving grace was her vocals and visuals. Sadly, her vocals too were not widely appreciated as they sounded strained and even unfit in English songs. Hence, she started gaining the reputation of being just a visual. This didn't sit well with her fanbase, who started feeling sympathy for her for being constantly ignored and called out YG and other solo stans for this behavior. They started pitting Rose against Jisoo, claiming that she was a better vocalist than the former. Suya's especially became toxic when she was the last one to have a solo debut, which was ironic as she was the first to have her television debut with the drama Snowdrop. From being labeled a weak link, she started rising in popularity after her drama debut. She gained a massive fanbase, which turned from being the nicest to one of the most toxic. Suyas are so obsessed with calling out mistreatment of Jisoo. They made it a thing that Jisoo received only 5 seconds of lines in Blackpink's title tracks, which is absolutely untrue. Her late solo debut was made a huge issue, and this sob story of mistreatment is now never-ending. I have seen Suyas insert themselves everywhere, calling Jisoo underrated, underhyped, mistreated, and whatnot. Now it's time to get into the meat of the video and talk about the main rivalry between Lisa and Jennie's fandoms, aka Lilies and Jensetters. Both of them are the rappers, dancers, and have great stage presence, hence, the rivalry. So let's start with the Jensetters. I believe that the birth of the rivalry between solo fandoms started because of Jennie. During their pre-debut era, YG actively pushed Jennie as the center of the group. She was the first to have a music video feature, a brand deal, and even a solo debut. This favoritism by YG didn't go down well with the Blackpink fanbase. They started calling out YG for being biased, but lo and behold, YG was feeling brave and continued the preferential treatment. All this YG hate turned to Jennie when she started showing her flaws. Her boss bitch vibe was labeled as arrogant and disrespectful behavior. She started receiving hate for her standout stage outfits, and it became worse when she messed up the choreography and lyrics on stage. She garnered the reputation of being a lazy dancer and an unprofessional idol. She was also involved in several dating rumors, which didn't help her at all. Fans started believing that if any other member had been involved in as many controversies as she was, they would have faced severe consequences. With so much hate coming from other fandoms, it was natural that Jennie's fans became overly defensive of her. They started justifying her lackluster performances by claiming she was ill, which poured gasoline on the fire, in my opinion. Well, most of the Jensetters were hateful towards YG, and not necessarily towards other Blackpink members. They felt that she was being forced to perform constantly, and her health was depreciating. Nonetheless, they are a little more laid back these days, so thank God. Coming to the most toxic and obsessive fandom, in my opinion, the Lilies. Oh God, where to even begin? Well, I have also received major hate from the Lilies for saying that she isn't the literal best dancer in K-pop. Anyway, I am getting ahead of myself, and let me be clear, I really like Lisa. She is the most talented and passionate member of Blackpink, and honestly, she doesn't deserve this toxic fandom. You can understand how powerful and obsessive the fandom is just from the number of streams and views on her solo songs. She has over 90 million followers on Instagram, which is the highest of any K-pop idol, and she has several world records to her name. What more can be said? Clearly, her fans want her to be at the top of any Blackpink member or K-pop in general. They put in so much effort in streaming and voting just so she can break records and be the undisputed winner in a race that no one really cares about. It's still alright if they keep supporting her, but the fandom can be so hateful it's scary. It started when Jennie was getting preferential treatment by YG, and they thought that Lisa was much more deserving than her. She had great dance, rap, and stage presence going for her, yet she was overlooked. Many Korean fans did not like her initially due to her Thai origins, which angered Lilies. They felt that Lisa was receiving this biased treatment because of Jennie, and hence they started hating on her at any chance they got. It didn't stop here, they have hated on every idol or person who has any resemblance or competition with Lisa. She is obviously an amazing dancer, and no one is denying that, but her fans just cannot accept that there is anyone better than her. They are not even fazed in dismissing and hating on everyone who claims that there are other amazing dancers like Momo, J-Hope, Kai, Yeji, Taemin, etc. They cannot accept that someone can like other dancers more, and they make sure to let it be known. The bangs are supposedly Lisa's trademark, and anyone who has those bangs is hated for copying Lisa. Idols like Lily from Mix and Momo from Twice have received hate for this. Basically, they can make any situation about Lisa and call it mistreatment. Any criticism she receives is simply brushed off as racism and xenophobia. No matter the situation, unless you are blindly supporting Lisa, you are a hater and jealous of her success. Anyway, I can go on, but I will stop here by saying that this obsessive attachment to Lisa is actually disturbing and harmful to other idols and artists. This discussion has gone past the question of who is in the right. It's clear that the biggest enemy of Blackpink is not ARMY or any other fandom, but the solo stands themselves. They have made their fandoms so toxic and cult-like that it's impossible to share an ounce of constructive feedback or opinion on Blackpink without being drowned in hate. This is the reason why a lot of older fans have left the fandom, and the Blinks have gained a horrible reputation. So what are your thoughts about the solo fandoms? Do you think this hate is justified, or are the fans too much? Let me know in the comments, and I will see you in the next video. Bye.